How are we doing out there tonight? One, two. Is this thing working? Good to be back at the boot hill. Like the man was saying, a couple of years ago I walked into the Bank and Blues and there was this young fellow up there on stage absolutely tearing it up on the piano, and took a break. We were talking outside and I said, I'm Reverend Billy Wirtz, and he said, yeah, I've seen you hanging around the bus stop before. But anyway, so we went down to Angel and Phelps, and he started the show and I played. And I've worked with a lot of players in 30 years on the road, and there was one of those things, it's just like it's almost like a relationship. It was like within 2 songs that chemistry was there, and I just said, we got to keep going with this. And so we've had a chance to play a lot here in Daytona and been privileged to play across the country. We just got back from the Ottawa Blues Fest, and Victor tore him up there. He did real proud for your city up there. He was up there with the Texas Horns and some big league players, and he was doing fine. He was shaking like Pat Robertson in a booby bar, but he did fine. At any rate, sorry. The blues, as we know, comes from personal experience. Ideally, I should be able to sing a song, and there should be certain members of you in the audience who go, I know what the brother's talking about. So therefore, it would be difficult for me to get up here and sing songs about being on Parchment Farm and, you know, living on Vienna sausage and getting beat up by the man. Because I'm an Episcopalian former special ed teacher, you know, that just looks a little weird, okay? However, I am old enough to be Victor's dad, which he reminds me of occasionally. And so this next song is for all you other old geezers like me. All you survivors of the 60s generation. All of you all that have gone from cocaine to Rogaine. All of you all that have gone from transcendental meditation to transdermal medication. All of you all, by a round of applause, how many people had 8-track tape players in your car? See, Victor and his generation, they don't know what it's like because you're on that first date, like I was in my dad's '64 Dodge with a push-button gears 225 slant 6 engine. And there I was, riding with Kate Lindy, a Methodist missionary's daughter, all the way to me and Jesus. And I had on the Led Zeppelin 1 8-track, and it started skipping between I Can't Quit You Baby and Communication Breakdown. Billy, you better do something quick. Well, we didn't have CDs and MP3s and 4s and 6s and 5s. I took that damn matchback boy, stuck it right in the corner of my circle. That night I became a man. This is a song that I wrote about getting old. This is a song I wrote after my 10th procedure for kidney stones. Under the influence, I hate to say it, of rather strong pain medication. At 2 o'clock in the morning watching the Golden Girls. Looking at Blanche. thinking to myself, boy, I bet she gives a heck of, I mean, go like this. I got hairs going places there weren't no hair before. Places that it grew, it won't grow there no more. Time goes on, brother, you know it's true. What I used to do all night, take me all night to do my stuff. Well, I'd hang around in bars where the rock and rollers play. Now from out past 8, they must have a hell of a good buffet. Like my high fiber cereal. I'm only passing through. What I used to do all night, Lord, take me all night to do. I'm Mason mellow like a nice cut of steak. Take me home hunting before the expiration date. I loved it when the girls whispered soft and sit near. Now they yell, get it, get it, they're talking about my miracle there. I'm kind of creaky. My ride's good, honey, even if the springs get squeaky. Goes into gear with just a little bit of persuasion. My rear end wobbles and even backfires on occasion. Like Lancelot told Guinevere, I love you, but it's rough. Once a king, always a king. For me, once a night, that's about enough. Now I was rocking my honey, she said, Reverend, oh, you're my daddy, I don't want to let you go. Don't get too happy, let me give you a tip. You meant to grab the Astroglide, I think you grabbed the Polygrip. Excuse me. Closer to that senior menu than I am to 22. What I used to do all night, Lord, take me all night to do. What I used to do all night, Lord, take me all night. What I used to do all night now. Take me all night. Go! When I was a little girl growing up in South Carolina, my mother worked for the police department, no true story, and we used to have this bar on I'm from Aiken, South Carolina, home of James Brown and Brenda Lee and the famous Savannah River nuclear power plant that, as they told us, don't worry, it only leaks a little bit every now and then, and two-headed catfish are normal for this time of year. So anyway, my mom used to take me around with her, like on some of her runs, because my mother was like the juvenile officer, and she also, there was this one redneck bar on the outside of town called the Hornet's Nest, and it made that bar and the Blues Brothers look like a Mennonite meeting hall. I mean, this place, And it had a big old hornet's nest out front. It had the sawdust on the floor. It had the whole 9 yards. And the thing was, it was one of those old jukeboxes that actually just had one number that you pushed. Remember those? And I would always say to my mom, Mama, plinky planky, because there was a song that went plink, plank, plink, plank, plink, like that. And they would see what's happened was my mom would be handing out restraining orders, which in South Carolina is just another way of saying, I love you, at any rate. And then they would play the plinky planky song, and I'd be dancing around like that, and it would keep them from fighting, okay? So it had a practical use as well as a musical entertainment, which is what I've always tried to do, maintain in my career. So at any rate, we're going to do the plinky planky song for you right now, which turns out it was originally done by the Will Bradley Trio, and it was done about 1946. We're going to beat you daddy 8 to that.